Alright, welcome everybody. Welcome to week number 17 of NFL Picks. Before we begin, I'd like to wish everybody a happy, a Merry Christmas, even though it's December 26th that this video is being filmed on, but it's the day after Christmas. It makes no difference. I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas and their holiday as well. Hope if anybody went to any parties or got together with their family, got to do all that, hope that was good. And even though there are some people that cannot be with their family for Christmas, like the armed forces and many others too, but they're doing what they do, and that is protecting our country and all that stuff, so we salute them every single day. And so now we got some good games coming up here, and I apologize for not doing week 16 because of the fact that I've been a little bit busy, and I didn't do a couple other weeks either because of, just some things going on, but it doesn't matter. But I'm back doing videos once again as we got all these games lined up. This is the last game of the NFL season, and then we start the playoffs, and I'll probably get a discussion of them too. But before we get into the discussion, we have some guests with us. Now, I'm doing this on Discord as well with some friends of mine. I've got my girlfriend on Skype hanging with me, but
hello there.
Yep, but I have some people here as well. We got Mr. Jason Myers.
What is that?
Yep. We got Adam Oliver.
Hey guys.
And for the first time, Mr. Will Medina.
Playoffs? Let's talk about Baker Mayfield. What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, good to have you here, and everybody else too.
You remind me of my haunted pastor, Jim Moore. Anyway.
Lord help me.
We couldn't do diddly poo. We couldn't throw the ball. We couldn't catch the ball. We couldn't score a touchdown. We couldn't convert a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We just sucked.
God.
Well. Oh, God.
Beautiful. All right. So let's get right into this. Of course, no Thursday night football, just regular Sunday football matchups, and no Monday night football either. So you won't have to hear me doing my Monday night football thing. But let's just get right into this. Our first matchup here on the schedule, we got the Miami Dolphins facing the Buffalo Bills. The Miami Dolphins, pretty much with a 7-8 record, are pretty much out of the playoffs, pretty much. But they did pretty well. I mean, not really the best like to write about. I mean, the Bills pretty much will finish with either a 6-10 record or 5-11, or a tie if it winds up going this game. But we had 2 ties in this season, pretty much, folks. So no way. I don't think this game will go into a tie. But for this matchup, it's in Buffalo at New Era Field. I'm pretty much in favor of the Dolphins in this one. The Bills on week 16 wound up playing against the Patriots, which was a loss 24-12, and I just think it's, like I said, this season has just not been so successful for him, and I just think the Dolphins will win it. So Dolphins over the Bills, 23-16. So, of course, people are welcome to do their scores as well, or what teams they think will win as well. But even though that doesn't really matter, so
score-wise, that sounds reasonable considering the teams involved.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on the prediction that Miami will take it, because if Buffalo couldn't beat the Patriots, they definitely can't beat Miami, because Miami beat the Patriots. Just saying.
Yep, the Miami Miracle, as we call it.
Yeah. Which that should have been included in the montage of don't celebrate too early.
Yep. For real. Alright, so...
Alright. I guess I'll go next.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who goes.
Miami 27, Buffalo 17, and To be quite honest, Steve, I feel sorry for Buffalo here. I mean, they had a lot going for them. They went to get Josh Allen, and look what happened.
Yep.
You had Shady McCoy with all these injuries, Zay Jones barely getting 5 receptions a game, and Buffalo just needs an all-new outlook. And that defense, 21st, 22nd ranked in the league right now, this is terrible. If anything, Buffalo needs to clean house. And Miami going 500. I like Adam Gass, don't get me wrong, good coach, but I cry for Buffalo right now. Miami will win.
Okay. Adam Oliver.
Okay. I think the Dolphins will get this one.
All right, so everybody's very much in favor of the Dolphins. So fins up. Now it's Putnam always says. So there you go. Now, well, our next one, as soon as I look up something real quick. Here we go. All right, our next one is a matchup between. Oops. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Our next matchup, is two teams that are already eliminated, but it's just a matchup we got to get out of the way just to say how we think it shall go. The Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons come off a victory, I believe, and the Buccaneers come off a loss. So neither team is going to finish over 500, but like I said, both of these teams are pretty much out of the playoffs. The Falcons are quite surprising to me. I thought they were at least going to have a winning record this year, but this year they're not. The Buccaneers got off to a good start with the hashtag at that time Fitzmagic, but that magic pretty much stopped like after week 3 or 4, whatever one it was. But for this matchup, I'm in favor of the Falcons because the Buccaneers just been doing okay, and Falcons I just like more in this one. So give me the Falcons over the Buccaneers, 28-18.
All right, since Jason's over there eating some chicken, Falcons again. I'll say I'm gonna go low score here. I think it's gonna be 24-10, and Jameis Winston will have 2 fumbles. Why I say 2 fumbles, ladies and gentlemen, because here's the Buccaneers team that just lost its stride. I mean, you went from Fitzpatrick to Winston, then you had a discrepancy at the quarterback situation after week 8. I mean, Tampa Bay doesn't even know what to do. This is sad. And they went back to Winston because Fitzpatrick got hurt. So, I mean, this is a team that's also looking for help. And they need to get something going here. As far as the Falcons go, okay, you had your Super Bowl hangover. It's time for you guys to work through the offseason, get your defense a lot better. And you just lost Vic Beasley for the season and Keanu Neal. But Atlanta will win out. I don't see Matty Ice struggling in this last game. So Atlanta will go out with a bang here.
Okay.
Okay, in this one, I believe the Falcons will pull this one off.
Okay.
The reason why I've been so silent because this is a game I could give less than a you know what about.
Right.
I don't know if you allow cursing on your recordings.
Oh, it's fine. You can say whatever you want.
Fuck Atlanta, fuck the Buccaneers. But anyways, for me this is a matter of who do I hate less? And that would be Tampa Bay. Because Atlanta could eat a whole fucking trough of dicks. Just saying. So, language, Jason, we got kids on the show. Come on now, they're probably watching. So I'll go against the grade and say that Tampa will barely eke this one out. But it'll be probably looking at like 21-18 eke out.
Atlanta could eat a fucking dicks.
Yeah. For those of you just joined in, for those of you just joined in, if you think this is PG rating, think again. So let's move on now.
I mean,
Like I said, it is my channel. Anybody can say anything they want, and there you go. So
that means no kids, please.
all right, so here we go.
And
Next.
no, this wasn't sour grapes because Tampa beat us week 1.
Right.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just an overall hatred.
Right. Well.
Hatred. Hold on, Jason. We're talking about the bearded Ryan Fitzpatrick who threw 4 touchdowns and over 430 yards on you guys week 1. I mean,
that's like I said, this has nothing to do with them beating us week 1. We deserved that one. Because we came ill prepared against Fitzpatrick. But this is just a years-long hatred of both teams. But I hate Tampa less than I hate Atlanta. Atlanta could eat a whole trough of dicks. Just...
No kids, please.
28-3. Never forget. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready to move on to the next one? So.
Let's go.
All right. So let's get this one out of the way pretty quick because this one, in my opinion, is going to be a blowout. The New England Patriots and the New York Jets. So, Jets have pretty much been eliminated, and the Patriots currently, I believe, have the number 2 seed in the AFC behind the Chiefs right now, and this matchup is not too great to me because it's in Foxborough for one, Gillette Stadium, and it's going to be extremely cold out there. I can't imagine how cold it'll be, but it'll be a cold day in hell if the Jets do upset the Patriots in this matchup, even though it's not going to make a difference. But my pick is, the only thing that'll matter, you know my point pretty much. My pick is the Patriots in this one over the Jets. Just, I'd love to see an upset in this one, but you never know. That has happened in some games, but Patriots, pretty much, like I said, my pick in this one, 33-18.
I don't even see why the Jets even bother anymore. Seems like every season they just get progressively worse.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, Buffalo needs a complete overhaul. The Jets need a complete overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with your score for the game, I think that's reasonable. 33-18, maybe 31-18, but still, it's reasonable. Adam, you okay with it?
Good? Sorry about that. I was just watching the game and after the refs and watching the basketball game.
Oh, that's.
Oh God.
That's fun.
While we move to another report here, I'll go next since Jason said what I was about to say. But I just think that the Jets were on the radar when they got Sam Darnold, quarterback at USC, and everybody thought, well, this is the wave of the future. Yeah, they said that to many of quarterbacks, and look what happened. They only had one good game. And look what happened. Still deploting as we speak. Yep. Now, New England goes, I'm only going to say this one time, and one time only. When you hear the words New England in the playoffs, that usually means a couple things. But I'm not going to talk about this team too much because there's a lot of issues against this team. But I'm going to say New England 31, the Jets Tom Brady will have the Justin Bieber haircut at the post-game interview. That's all I'm saying.
God.
Adam.
Well, as much as I would love to upset, but I have to be a realist and say that the Patriots, like, unpredictably would win it.
Yeah. Well, if they could maybe, the Jets could talk to maybe Chad Pennington and get him out of retirement and be the quarterback to face Tom Brady in this matchup, or maybe get Lavernius Coles or Curtis Martin to maybe be on the team, and maybe they have a chance. But like I said, just
Steve, you forgot Chad Pennington was once a Jet.
yep. Well, anyway, moving on. Let's go to this next matchup here. So, our next one is between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston, we got a problem, Texans. Actually, there is no problem with them because they're 10-5 and they're currently the number 3 seed in the AFC, I believe. And the Jaguars, well, they were doing pretty well at the beginning of the season, but then after that, they thought pretty much this is another team I thought never was going to do pretty well this season, because the Jaguars did pretty well last year, and then now this season they're just pretty much no. And the Texans are quite a surprise, with a 10-5 record and a chance to go 11-5 if they win, and possibly, well, hold on one second, possibly take the number 2 seed, I guess, if the Patriots wind up losing, but it doesn't seem.
That's a long shot.
Yes, it is indeed. Thank you. But yeah, so for this matchup, I'm in favor of the Texans because it's in Houston. I mean, even though, but pretty much. The Jaguars, I believe, have gone back to their quarterback, Blake Bortles, after the other guy had been starting, but now with their matchup they were against in last week or whatever, but I just pretty much am in favor in the Texans in this one, as I said again. So, Texans over the Jaguars, 26-17.
All right. Okay. Where has Jalen Ramsey been since he's run his mouth? Absolutely nowhere. You went from almost beating a depleted New England team that had 3-star players hurt to 5-10, and we're talking about Cody Kessler here, Steve. Cody fucking Kessler, who came from Cleveland, mind you.
Yep.
Because Jacksonville didn't have any real backup quarterbacks. They had a Chad Henne, and he'd fall off the face of the earth. And what was his record? Only 1-3. Give me a break. Now, what hurt Jacksonville even more was their number 1 receiver, Marquise Lee, out for the season with a non-contact ACL injury. Poor guy. And look where it got them.
Yep.
Well, Houston, by the way, resurged from the Deshaun Watson ACL injury. So we won't have any problems here. So Houston will win, and I'll give this one a good 28-17. And Jalen Ramsey will get ejected for running his mouth. I'll put that out there.
It's almost ironic that it was about a year ago this month that the Jaguars just trampled over the Texans. But
Yeah.
that team, where the hell is that team? season, the Jaguars have just been on a downward spiral. It's like they did okay, and then here they are, still spiraling down, and I don't see them recovering from that. So, yeah, I'd give that to the Texans. I mean, you did good last year, Jaguars. You can't have just one good year and coast. Score-wise, I'd say maybe 27-10.
Right?
Well, the Jaguars were pretty decent last year, and I think they're about a complete different team this year. So I'm going to have to go with the Texans.
Alrighty. Next one. Another matchup here of two teams that are pretty much eliminated from the playoffs once again, and don't mind the noise in the background, folks. It's the clock going off, so it's 10 o'clock on the Eastern Coast here. So anyway, we're not talking about time. We're talking about score-wise for NFL. So here we go. Let's get back into it. We got our next matchup is the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, which, in my opinion, is going to be a chilly one. I mean, look at this. The high is going to be 34 degrees, and the low will be 26. Oh, my. So, like I said, two teams that are out of playoff contention. The Packers fired their longtime head coach, Mike McCarthy, which, in my opinion, was a little bit of a bad decision because, for one, he was a pretty good coach, and I don't know if that'll probably help him in the future. I mean, you never know, but the Lions is pretty much not really a whole lot to say about them, just not a whole lot to say. But for this matchup-wise, man, Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good in the game before, but what team were they playing before the Packers game?
Damn, I don't remember offhand.
Hang on, I got this. I got the scores. Where's it at? Here. Whoops, I lost it. I think it was the Jets. There it is. Yeah, they won in overtime against the Jets, 44-38. All right, so even. God dang it! I keep losing my scores on here. Okay. All right, for this matchup, I'm going with the Packers in this game over the Lions. Should be a pretty good matchup, like I said, with the way the Packers did against the Jets. So I think that they'll end their season with a victory. So Packers over the Lions, 28-23. I think it's gonna be a little bit close.
I think I'm gonna go with the Packers, and it's gonna be a pretty close game, and I'm gonna say that the Packers will win it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm inclined to go with the Packers as well, because if you look at Matt Stafford and everything he's done this season so far, he's practically 1-1 on touchdown to interception ratio. Like every touchdown he's throwing an interception right behind it. And I just feel the interception bug's just going to bite him in the ass on this one. So, yeah, I give it to the Packers. 27-18.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say here, fellas. I mean, as we speak, Green Bay has two other former coaches lined up for the head coaching position. We got Jim Caldwell, former Lions coach, by the way, and Carl Pagano. Who would have thought? But, you know, you guys all said it. I'll say it in unison. This is where Stafford needs to get better or get shipped out. Yep. But Green Bay will win a close one, but I'm going to say this is going to be a contested 17-14 because I don't see Aaron Rodgers really throwing that much. And may I remind all of Steve's viewers on YouTube that Aaron Rodgers was blamed on a few media shows on why McCarthy was fired. Newsflash. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers' fault why McCarthy was fired. Let's just get that straight right now. The problem is, Mike McCarthy was already on the hot seat prior to last season. You know, maybe they want to put somebody there that could rebuild that organization. But just to clarify, Rodgers has nothing to do with it. I just think it's a joke in my mind. It's a joke, and you know, maybe it was this time to go, maybe it was this time to go. But I'm just tired of people saying it was Aaron Rodgers. It's an atrocity. You know, good quarterback, just you can't put him next to a coach that's not gonna want to. So, with that said, Packers will still win, and we'll be standing by to see who will be the next coach. But Green Bay will win.
Okay. Well, now I think we'll move on to this game because one of us on here is pretty much going to be looking forward to this matchup. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. So, for this one, the Dallas Cowboys currently have the number 4 seed in the NFC with a 9-6 record. The Giants, no, they're not in it. I mean, they've been eliminated, but this matchup is in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it's going to be a high of 37 degrees and a low of 25 with a chance of snow. Well, this matchup, in my opinion, is pretty much alright to me. I mean, these two teams really usually do put on a pretty good matchup, but this, in my opinion, is a matchup that is in favor to the Cowboys. I like them more in this matchup. I mean, Giants been pretty much not been doing the best this year, and just do the best they can for next year. So, Cowboys over the Giants. 26-16.
Yeah, the Giants just need to tuck tail and run while they can. Because, I mean, it's like, I can't even come up with the words to explain what the hell they've been doing all season.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas really has nothing to lose here. They've already got the NFC East. All they're really playing for is, like, maybe better standing in the playoffs. Because right now they currently hold the number 4 seed. But Dallas is going to pick up this win, no question about it. The Giants are just going to have to, like I said, suck it up and rebuild. Score-wise, well, if the Giants actually do show up to play, it'll be a close one. I'll say 24-21. But if it's the same old Giants that we've been seeing all season, it'll be a little bit more of a spread, probably 24-14.
definitely the Cowboys got it. The Giants, well, they are definitely not doing well, to say the least.
Okay. Now, can anybody say why the Giants drafted Saquon Barkley in the first place? Because the Giants have been well known for not drafting good players since Eli Manning. So Dallas will win. 30 to 17.
Alrighty. Now we'll get into this next one as another person that's pretty much probably looking forward to this. The Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. Oh man, where do we begin with that? Oh my God, that crazy game between the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my God.
You almost lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my opinion. I mean, I was so looking forward to this, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, Drew Brees, played pretty well, but here came all these interceptions and fumbles and flags and all this stuff, and as soon as the flags are coming out, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Will you put the fucking flag away? There was no penalty on that. I mean, it was them calls that pretty much happened there and all that stuff. I mean, but it was a great finish. I mean, well, and you know why I thought it was a great finish is because of the team I was pulling for, and look at the team they were playing against. But still, but Roethlisberger is a good quarterback. I am going to admit, even though I'm not a Steelers fan, but you know what I mean. He's a good quarterback, and it's a great matchup, and there you go. So, and for the Panthers, they got a 6-9 record, and I think I read today that their quarterback has gone down with an injury, and they've signed another quarterback. I don't remember his name, but I'm guessing that guy is going to be starting, and not going to really make a difference in this matchup. I mean, look at the record-wise, folks. Saints 13-2, amazing for a future Hall of Famer like Breeze and a possible Super Bowl candidate team. The way they're playing now, even though getting off to are only with just 2 losses. I mean, who knows? They could have went undefeated. But for this matchup, I'm in favor of the Saints for sure. No doubt in this. I mean, Saints currently have the number 1 seed, currently competing with the Rams, but we'll see how the match shall go. So anyway, Saints over the Panthers, 30-23.
Yay.
Okay. If they actually put effort into the game and not have a scoring affair like they did 2 weeks ago, where I sat there looking at my phone at the updates on the game, like, is anybody even doing anything? But I mean, we've got the number 1 seed, we've got home field advantage, we've got the division. I have a feeling the Saints are probably going to go conservative this time around. But even on a conservative standpoint, I still say the Saints will pick up the win. It'll be a low-scoring affair again, but it won't be as low as 2 weeks ago, and probably looking at like 14-10.
This one is kind of a pretty close game, but I'm gonna go with Drew Brees and the Saints and winning that one. Even though in one of the 2 losses happened to be the courtesy of my Cowboys, but other than that, the Saints are gonna win.
You're never gonna let me live that one down.
Okay. I'm just going to say to every Carolina Panther fan in the world, y'all need to write Cam Newton and tell him to basically go get a psychiatrist or retire from the league. I'm sorry. This is a quarterback that went from a Super Bowl blunder. He lost a lot of sponsors. And now he's on the, what is that again, folks? Trying to be relevant still train. And where are the Super Cam fans? Probably sitting down looking at the jerseys like, we believed in you. But nothing's come out of it. Now, for the Saints. Saints have always had a bad reputation in the past, but not this season. I love the Eli Apple pickup. I think he wasted his time with the Giants. I think but everything faulted on Ben McAdoo and that funky-ass haircut. He didn't even know what to do. I think that defensive coordinator didn't even know what to do. This was a good cornerback they got for the Big 12. And now he's with a contender. So, while Cam Newton is sitting there thinking about his money, Saints will win 31-17, and there will be a music video called How to Do the Drew Brees. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Also, this would be the first time in Saints history that we would go 14-2 should we win. Because
That's right.
Best we've ever done was 13-3.
Wow. Yep, it's a possibility, and we shall see. Okay.
Oh, yes, we shall.
Alright, so now that let's move on now to our next ones. These will be our 4 o'clock matchups. So, our first one is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. This will be in Landover at FedEx Field, Maryland, with a high of 43 degrees and a low of 36 degrees. Folks, I know I never do the temperature-wise and stuff about the games and stuff, but I figured, it's different, for this, and just thought I'd change it up. So anyway, the Philadelphia Eagles currently are at number 7, with the Minnesota Vikings on top with 8-6. On top, why'd I say that? Strike one. Anyway, so the Redskins are on the bottom with a 7-8 record. So yeah, why not? I mean, Anyway, so this matchup is pretty important to these two teams. If the Eagles wind up winning this matchup, then they'll be at 9-7. But if the Minnesota Vikings wind up losing 2, and that will pretty much put them at 7 losses. And because they do have a tie, though, but the Redskins with a 7-8 record, however, have not really been doing that well because of the fact of losing 2 quarterbacks. Alex Smith, I believe, and their second string, what's his name? Oh my, Colt McCoy. Thank you. So people keep saying that they should have signed Kaepernick, but I don't think it would have made a difference. I mean, I don't really say much about it, but anyway, I think their quarterback now is Josh Johnson, who's been taking over, and so far he's been doing all right. But in this matchup, though, the Eagles do not have their quarterback, Carson Wentz, I believe it is, so it's going to be Nick Foles, I believe, again. So
Don't beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, for this matchup, I'm in favor of the Eagles pretty much. Should be a pretty good matchup though, but just for score wise, even though I don't like to do scores a lot of times, but I do just to tell you what I think. But Eagles 26 and Redskins 23. I think it's going to be that close.
because the Eagles really need this if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
This is a Super Bowl defending team, I mean, for one.
Yeah. Because right now they're on the outside looking in. And a win against the Redskins would get them one step closer. But other things, of course, need to happen for them to actually get in. They need to hope that all the things fall into motion for them, starting with the win over the Redskins, 21-18.
Okay.
I like to say it on Steve's show.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Smith, I'm not going to say your injury was similar to Joe Theismann, but we're just glad you're alive and well. Can't believe I actually seen that game where he got injured. That hurts.
Yeah.
That was something nobody but the human eye has to see.
No.
That was awful. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was, but
Awful doesn't even begin to describe that.
Man,
okay. Legitimate point there, Jason, but on a Josh Johnson situation here, Josh Johnson is a journeyman. He'll go anywhere just to secure a job. Nobody has really believed in Josh Johnson for like the last 7 years. Go read the stats. Go see it from mine.
No.
Yeah.
It's just the way you put it.
But Eagles will come on top, and we could say is next year, Nick Foles will have a starting quarterback job, but where, we don't know yet. Because I believe in Nick Foles. If he could beat Tom Brady, he could beat another good quarterback. So, with that said, Eagles 28, Washington 14.
Okay, then. Next one.
Well, in that one, I think the Eagles got that one.
Sorry about that, Adam. I thought you already did your pick. I'm sorry. So, okay. Alright, here we go. Next one now is a matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. Temperature will be a high of 48 degrees, but a low of 19. Ooh. Oh boy.
That's too cold.
Yes. Well,
Good thing it's an afternoon game.
yeah. So for this one, the Chargers, of course, are the number 5 right now after coming off that loss against the Ravens on Saturday. And the Broncos with a 6-9 record, well, they're not really in the hunt anymore. I mean, they're eliminated. But for this one, if the Chargers wind up winning and the Ravens, I believe, wound up losing, then the Chargers would probably take over number 4 seed, I would think. But I'm not really the best with playoffs, folks. I mean, I try to do my best with this, with wild cards and the other kind of stuff and, all that. I try to do predictions, but it never works out for me. I try my best, but so as this matchup should be pretty nice, but just thinking of that cold 19 temperature just absolutely gives me chills like that. But it makes even bigger chills with the Broncos because I think the Chargers are going to get this victory because Phillip Rivers, even though he did not play the best against the Ravens, he had 2 interceptions, which is very unlike him to do something like that. But I think he's going to be out for revenge with his squad to get a victory in this one over the Broncos. So, like I said, Chargers over the Broncos, 28-19.
In this one, I think the Chargers got that one because the Broncos got a lot of work to do, to say the least.
Yep.
Alright. Well, I hope Kansas City will be watching this game because Kansas City also plays part in this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Given the fact if Chargers win and Kansas City loses their game, I just question if they're going to have a one-game playoff. But I don't know. It'll go to straight the position of the division. I'm just taking a guess. But the Chargers have been coming up, so I'm not going to argue what they've done. It's just a matter of what Steve should have said was, can Phillip Rivers play in a cold atmosphere? And we all know that Phillip Rivers doesn't do well in the cold. It's been already recorded in many forums, but Chargers should have the win here, and I want to see a fight for this one. So the Chargers will win by a score of 24-13.
Okay.
And like you said, it's going to be a cold game. Phillip Rivers doesn't really have the best track record in cold games.
Yep.
But this is playoff implications for the Chargers here. They currently have 5 seed, but if they want to keep it, a win over the Broncos would definitely keep them in the running. Even though it'll be a cold game, we know how Phillip Rivers is. Chargers over the Broncos, 17-14.
Our next matchup, well, it's the team we just mentioned on here, so now we're going to get into it now. The Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. So pretty much, as we said, the Kansas City Chiefs do have the number 1 seed right now with their 11-4 record, and a loss pretty much against this team would drop them down, and as we said before, but with them facing a team like the Oakland Raiders in this matchup, by the way, this is at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City with a high of 40 degrees and a low of 31. Not too bad, but should be pretty nice, but should be a pretty good matchup too. But the Kansas City Chiefs have just been playing, extremely well. Patrick Mahomes has been doing a pretty good job. Wish I could say the same about the Raiders, but just been a tough season for them. I thought it'd be pretty good for them with them hiring their new coach, John Gruden, even though it was a pretty hefty amount of money that they gave him, but it's what they decided to do, and there you go. So, but for this matchup, I like the Chiefs in this one. The Raiders have pulled off an upset this year, and that was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though the kicker, Chris Boswell, in my opinion, kind of slipped, but still didn't get the win for him, but there you go. So, yeah. I'm sure the Raiders would put up a good fight in this one, but there's no way I could, pick them in this matchup. So, there you go. Kansas City Chiefs over the Raiders, 33-8. No, hold right, stop right there. Let me try it again. 33-17. What is that?
Oh God. This is what we should call a plea for help for the Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Look what John Gruden has done. Khalil Mack with Chicago going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper with Dallas going to the playoffs. What in the fuck is in the water in Oakland, California? What the fuck?
I don't know, but don't drink it.
Now, there was a rumor of Derek Carr leaving, but I don't see that happening because Derek Carr has more than $62 million going into him for next season. but I don't see Oakland winning this game. And after this season, the Raiders are homeless. The Raiders are pretty much homeless right now. They can't go to Vegas because the NFL blocked that situation. But there was a rumor they coming to either my stadium at Levi's or coming to play at my baseball stadium known as AT&T Park, in which I want no part of it. So again, this is where the Raiders get fucked right here. So Kansas City with the win, 35-13.
Basically, they'd be the San Francisco Raiders.
Basically.
Wow. All right, who next?
Well, to say the least, only 2 words to describe the Raiders season: hot mess. I would say the Kansas City Chiefs with a win.
Okay.
Yeah. Despite the Chiefs having lost their last 2 games, even though they were close.
Yep.
Against the Raiders, there's no way the Chiefs are losing this one. No way in hell. John Gruden, nice try. But yeah, gotta get this one to the Chiefs. Definitely 31-24.
All right. Our next matchup. Another one of these. All right. Next one, another important game to, to one team, but the other team's already got a position locked in for playoffs. This is the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings at U.S. Bank Stadium with a high of 32 degrees and a low of 27. So
It's indoors. Yes. Nobody's going to go home with frostbite tonight.
right. That's right. I forgot. Nothing to worry about there, but anyway, so for this one, the Bears have the number 3 seed right now, and the Minnesota Vikings, we mentioned before, are currently in the hunt right now at number 6. So a win here for the Bears will put them at 12-4, and if they were to win and the Rams wind up losing, then the two would be tied with the 12-4. So I don't know how the tiebreaker would go, but the Vikings, as I said before, but should be a pretty good matchup though between these two teams, and I pretty much I gotta think about this game a little bit. I mean, this should be a pretty good matchup. I mean, the way I just look at this, I just think it should be pretty good. But I'm gonna take a shot, and I'm gonna go with the Bears. They've been playing pretty well, with the new players, like Khalil Mack and a few others too. And I really can't remember the quarterback's name. I believe it's Trubisky. It's Trubisky. I knew I was mispronouncing it, but that's okay. He's been doing pretty well, and there you go. So anyway, Bears over the Vikings, 26-23.
Oh no! I was waiting on that one.
All I'm gonna say is, you got one foot in the door, and you got the Eagles biting your fucking feet right now, because that's where Minnesota is right now. Mm-hmm. They want Philly to lose. They want to have Washington to win, so they can secure that 6. But like you said earlier, it's a lot different. But yeah, Chicago's gonna win 31-17.
Mm.
Yep.
Well, in this one, it's gonna be a really good barn burner at Minnesota. But to me, I think I gotta give the Vikings the home field in this one, and it's gonna be a pretty good shootout between sorry. It's gonna be a good
Yes, Drew Brees plays for everybody now.
Okay, let's rewind.
Yeah.
It would be a good shot between Trubinsky and Cousins. And I gotta give Minnesota the win on that one with the score of 30-27.
Let's see. Part of me wants to give the win to Minnesota, but that's if they don't abandon the run game like they did the last time these two teams faced. Because Minnesota got away from the run game, and look what happened. Interception City. If they try the same tactic again against the Bears are going to wipe the floor with them. And I'm pretty sure the Bears want to attempt to get home field advantage. So I'll give it to the Bears. 24-21.
24-21. Alrighty. Alright, this next matchup, this is a disappointing matchup to me, because this is just not really one to look forward to, in my opinion. But let's do it anyway. This is the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams at the LA Memorial Coliseum with a high of 64 degrees. Yeah, wonderful. And a low of 43. Could certainly take that, especially here in Maryland. But like I said, this matchup is not really the best to me, because the Rams, with a 12-3 record, as I mentioned about them before, currently battling for that spot, but they've already clinched nonetheless. And the Rams, 49ers with a 4-11 record, nothing. No, they've already been eliminated, and just
I'll tell you really, Will.
Did Steve give his score already?
No, I was about to, but I will now. Anyway,
Go ahead. I didn't mean to do that.
You're fine. It's all good. All right. Rams over the 49ers, 33-12.
I don't know what hurts more, me being a Niner fan. The fact that
sorry,
Jimmy
man.
Garoppolo got... What hurts more? That Jimmy G got hurt in week 3? Or the fact that we didn't get to see Jerick McKinnon on the field this whole season? I mean, that hurts. Then we had a quarterback named C.J. Beathard. We call him the pocket camel, because he looks like he's dancing like a fucking camel in the pocket, and he goes down. What a joke.
Wow.
But I like Nick Mullins here. I think the last game we should have beaten the Bears. Why did he throw it? It was a first down. It was wide open. What the fuck is wrong with him? That should have been the upset of the week, gentlemen. But it didn't happen. I wonder why. But again, this is a Rams team that also has done well, but their defense has got hit with somewhat injuries to Talib and Peters. But Talib is supposed to be coming back, and what can you say about Todd Gurley? What he has already done was get injured, but he may miss a second straight game. But I think he'll be ready to go by playoff time, so It pays me to say this, but the Rams will give my Niners a shellacking of 35-7.
Yeah. It seems to be a common thread amongst most of the teams this season. Like, they start to do good, then the key players get injured, and then their Cinderella story just goes to the wayside, which is the case with the 49ers, unfortunately. Sorry, Will. But yeah, I don't see the Rams giving this one up, even though they're probably going to coast through this one too. Just like I have a feeling the Saints are going to coast through the game. But even in a coast, it'll be a low-scoring affair for this one. I'll say 14-9.
Very giving, Jason. Very giving.
And I think at that point, I'm kind of gonna feel bad for you, Will. And yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
I think with the Rams season, they've been sensational. All around, offense and defense. So I think it's gonna be a pretty dominating win for the Rams.
Okay. Let's do this one. Just a few left on here, folks, and then that'll be it. So, next one is the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks at CenturyLink Field, with a high of 48 degrees and a low of 36, with a chance of rain showers. The good old Weather Channel days. Expect a chance of rain on Friday and Saturday, and on Sunday, expect fair skies.
You sound like the voice from the Weather Channel. That's a bad thing.
Wow, I can't believe somebody agrees.
My God.
Anyway, for this matchup, your forecast. The forecast in this one calls for a victory, in my opinion, for the Seattle Seahawks. The Cardinals only have 3 wins. I remember back in the day, when they had Kurt Warner on the team and Edgerrin James was their running back, and even though Larry Fitzgerald is still with them, and Anquan Bolden was a teammate before he went to the Ravens, I mean, yeah. But first Carson Palmer retires, then they go to this quarterback, then another, and then there you go. The Seahawks are still in the hunt right now with they got a 9-6 record, so they pretty much, they're the number 5 seed, excuse me. Well, Dallas also has a 9-6 one too, but there you go, you get the point. Anyway, so Seahawks over the Cardinals, 26-13, and by the way, and now, it's time for your local forecasts on the Weather Channel. Next.
Well, next, Steve, we have here is a forecast of the 12th man being more loud than the Cardinals, and we have a side of what the fuck we have here. I mean, let's take a look at Josh Rosen. Let's take a look at Josh Rosen, okay? Josh Rosen is a quarterback, durable, but not good in the pocket. Christian Kirk, good rookie, out for the season. Too bad. Is this Larry Fitzgerald's last year with the Cardinals? And looks like the signs are more than likely. But there was a rumor of him going to the Patriots next season.
Really?
And we all know what New England likes to do with those. Yeah. Look at Josh Gordon. Oops. But,
Yeah, but their names are not Julian Edelman or Danny. What's the other one that?
Rob Gronkowski.
or Gronkowski or the other guy that always seems to get injured every fucking season.
Kevin Hogan? Chris Hogan?
No, not Chris Hogan. Shit, what the fuck is his name? I'll think of it when it.
Is he still playing?
Probably. Question mark.
Okay.
But back to it, I mean, we look at what we have here. It's just basically Seattle is the 5th seed right now, and they want to stay alive in this one and not butt heads with the Vikings. But Arizona, just like Buffalo, needs a big ass haul and a deep clean, especially that front office. So Seattle will win, score of 24-13, and Russell Wilson will have a field day running about. And Adam does not want to talk about this game. Fantastic.
I think the Seahawks are gonna pretty much dominate that game. Because again, 2 words that describe the Cardinals season: hot mess. So the Seahawks got this one.
There you go.
Well, I can't think of the guy that I'm trying to remember. It was either last season or the season before on the Patriots.
It's not Wes Welker, is it?
No,
Okay.
not Wes Welker.
Danny Amendola?
Yes.
Okay.
He's with Miami.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But has he made it through the entire season without getting injured? That's the real question.
Good
Every
question.
time you turn around, that motherfucker gets injured. Anyway.
Yep.
Like his legs are made of glass. Anyways, enough about Miami, enough about the Patriots. On with
Yes.
this. On with this, yeah. Oh, yeah. Words, English. With the Seahawks picking up another win because Arizona is pretty much depleted. I mean, they're not even trying. So, yeah, Seahawks will pick up this one. I'll say 20-14.
All right, and now we've come down to the final 3. So, could have said, the final 4, like the basketball, but we're not talking about basketball, so let's just do this one, or the final 4. So, let's just get into this. So, our next matchup is the battle between the AFC North teams, and we will do this one. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Heinz Field, of course, with a high of 38 and a low of 29. But, so, as we mentioned about what happened with that Pittsburgh and New Orleans game, and the Bengals are currently out of playoff contention, but could possibly, when this season is over, could Marvin Lewis of the Cincinnati Bengals be with a new team next year? Because, in my opinion, he's been with the team a while, and they have a chance to either finish 7-9 or 6-10. And in my opinion, I think they're pretty much going to fire him after this season, and they're going to wind up hiring somebody else. As for the Steelers, if they were to lose this game too, somebody pretty much said that they may fire their head coach. I always forget the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach's name. I always do that. But Mike Tomlin.
Guy.
Mike Tomlin. But
It's that guy.
yeah, that guy. But I don't really see that a possibility. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. But for this matchup, this is an important matchup for the Steelers because pretty much their playoff hopes are on the line in this game. If they lose and the other team wins, then playoffs are bye-bye, pretty much. And the Bengals, like I said before, not too much to say, as I said. But anyway, Oh, God. I mean, pretty much, I know some people probably think I'm going to pick, but, I'm going to go with this one. I'm picking the Bengals, for sure. I mean, I think they're going to get this victory. The Steelers have been falling apart as from what's been happening, before, losing to the Broncos, the Raiders, and now losing to the New Orleans Saints. Even though it was a pretty good matchup, as I said, but I think the Bengals are just going to come out and get this victory over them. So Bengals for the win, 27-21.
Actually, from what I was reading, if the Bengals happen to pull off the upset over Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh is out. Like, they have zero chance after that
Right.
if they lose. So, Bengals, know what you gotta do. Now go do it. 24-21, Bengals.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Can we? All I'm gonna say is Pittsburgh needs to be knocked down a couple of levels.
Mm.
I'm tired of Stephen A. Smith. That's all you gotta say.
Stephen A. Smith. Period.
I'm getting sick and tired of people saying Mike Tomlin needs to be on the hot seat. I mean, Tomlin never really had an issue losing out on the division as many times as he been coach. So I think that's a joke. But like Jason says, we need Cincinnati to pull something and do it now. So with that said, the Bengals are going to win. I don't know what the score is going to be because I know the referees, they're going to just basically throw flags. I think this is going to be the game, Steve, where a lot of penalty flags are going to happen. It's going to be in this game. So it's going to be a close one. I think Bengals 27-21.
Okay. And Adam.
Well, I still think that the Bengals still gotta get some stuff done, to say the least, for their season, and so I gotta give Pittsburgh that win, because Roethlisberger is a pretty decent quarterback, and
Yep.
I know they got the talent for sure, so I'm gonna say the Steelers gonna win it.
Okay. And
Are we missing a game?
we're
Or
getting
two?
we're getting to them. Just
Okay.
get them up.
Just making sure.
Yeah, there's still 2 of them left.
Little funny story for you guys. I used to own a Ben Roethlisberger jersey a while ago. I don't have it anymore. This is back in the day, like when I liked the Steelers, well, more than my team, the Ravens. But anyway, I used to own one, and I sold it to a person on Craigslist at that time, and it was a lady that bought it. But I didn't go to make the exchange. My grandfather did. And he came back and brought me the money, and he said, oh, the woman loved the jersey. She said, oh, thank you for the jersey so much. My boss is going to love this. I'm like, oh, God. Trying to get on the boss's side to get a raise, but okay. Probably give you a terrible towel, but anyway, here we go. All right.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say that you threw his jersey in the Baltimore Harbor.
Yeah, really.
Because I've heard stories about the harbor.
I know you have, but yeah. Anyway, but speaking of Baltimore, here we go. The Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore with a high of 42 and a low of 32. So, sometimes... Sorry?
A little chilly.
Yeah. Alright, so, usually I let, well, we're running a little bit low on time, folks, but it's alright, we'll continue this anyway. I usually let some others, do this first, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to go on and on, but here we go. So pretty much the Ravens are first place now in the AFC North after coming off a win against the Chargers and also putting in a quarterback by the name of Lamar Jackson into the role ever since with the injury to Joe Flacco. Could Joe Flacco be on the move next year and be with another team? Definitely, in my opinion, because we don't need two starting quarterbacks. I mean, Flacco has done pretty well for the Ravens before. He's won a Super Bowl ring, and he's been with the Ravens since the 2008-2009 season, and it's just time to move on. I mean, there's no way he wants to be a backup. He'll be with the team. It could either wind up being the Redskins, some say, or the Jaguars. But, of course, I say as long as it's not the Patriots or Steelers. But it ain't going to happen because they already got two quarterbacks. So, but for this matchup, Jackson's been looking pretty well. Gus Edwards, the running back, has been doing extremely well and taking over the role for Alex Collins, who's been out with that injury. And Michael Crabtree has been missing a couple of passes and all that, but he still manages to catch a few. And John Brown, our wide receiver, and our tight end, Mark Andrews, I believe it is, has been doing pretty well. And the defense, Terrell Suggs leading all the Ravens defense, who pretty much shut down the Chargers in that game in Los Angeles, but this is pretty much an important matchup to the Ravens too, because if the Ravens do wind up winning, then they'll finish 10-6 and they'll pretty much go to the playoffs still, even if the Steelers win too. But the important thing is that the Ravens win and the Steelers lose to me. But the Browns pretty much need to upset the Ravens and the Steelers need to win. But that pretty much...
I'll be back.
Okay. This, in my opinion, would not happen because the last time the Browns swept the Ravens was at least a while ago. I don't remember when exactly, but... So anyway, definitely go with my hometown pick, the Ravens, in this one, as I think, this will be a good matchup and should be a pretty good one to watch. It was originally going to start at 1 o'clock, this game was, but now they changed it to 4:25, but just telling you folks, but there you go. So anyway, Ravens over the Browns, 23-14.
Do you believe in Baker Mayfield?
Well,
Do you believe in the Browns? Not me.
neither do I. I mean, Baker Mayfield's a good quarterback, but that's it.
As much as I want Cleveland to be in a good position for their draft pick next year, I mean, I think Joe Flacco will be the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next season.
Now,
Because, look,
they like that.
now let's be honest. Ryan Fitzpatrick was dealing with injuries. Jameis Winston, all he knows how to do is fumble. Tampa Bay needs solidarity now. So why not? As far as this game goes, Lamar Jackson's going to run over that defense. And again, we'll hear Stephen A. Smith talk about, why no, this is blasphemous. I don't want to hear that. Ravens will win. Pittsburgh will get knocked out of the playoffs, and Stephen Smith will have a heart attack come Monday. That's it.
Lay down.
Oh, the score will be. I'll be a little nice here. Baker Mayfield just got. I'll say 27-20 Ravens.
Right.
It sounds like a modest score for the game, and it would be also rewarding to
Get away from
hear
me, guys.
Stephen A. Smith stunned into silence for the rest of the season, the postseason, and hopefully for the rest of his life if we're lucky. But yeah, I'll give it to the Ravens. Even though the Browns finally got a decent quarterback, the Ravens will still eke this one out, 27-20.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the Ravens got this one.
Okay, and that leaves our last matchup, our Sunday Night Football matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. And there goes the clock again. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is, of course, in Tennessee at Nissan Stadium with a high of 50 degrees and a low of 43. The Colts and the Titans both have a 9-6 record, so this is pretty much an important game because pretty much this looks like the playoff picture one here was, like I said, so if the Titans win, then they'll go to 10-6, and that would put them like at number 6, I'm guessing, or whatever way it would work it out there. And probably, I don't know if the Colts would get knocked out, but well, whatever way it would work out. But like I said, I'm not the best with playoffs, but I just try to do my best at making these picks or how to work out. But anyway, yeah, it should be a pretty good matchup, as I said, and I am in favor of the Tennessee Titans for this one. I had to think about it a little bit, but I just think victory will go to them. 27-18.
I've been saying it for the last year on another channel on YouTube, is the fact that nobody gives the Titans that much credit, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
That the Colts may be 6 right now, but this is the game that puts the Titans over, knocks the Colts out of that 6th seed, and they will take it. Not try to offend Colts fans, but I love Andrew Luck, don't get me wrong. I mean, they got better with their running back situation. I love Marlon Mack. He done for Jordan Wilkins. Okay, pretty good, but you just got a gold mine in Derrick Henry. You got steady defense that knows what they're actually doing. So the Titans will win and secure the 6th slot in the wild card. My score over Indy, 28-23.
Let's see. I'm kind of up in the air on this one because I'm looking at the reports and they're saying that Mariota didn't practice today because of a slight injury that he sustained. So whether he's going to appear at the game Sunday night or not remains to be seen. So I can't really say one way or the other who's going to win. I know what I would like to have happen, but it's situational at this point. The situation being, will Mariota show up and actually play? If that situation occurs, I'll give it to Tennessee. But if he doesn't, then Dallas will hold on to number 6. Score-wise, I can't really pinpoint anything because, like I said, this is situational.
Yeah. Okay, and that's it. So, but Mr. Adam Oliver here seems to have stepped away, or it's like, but that's all right. I mean, but we'll have to wrap this up anyway. But so that's gonna do it. So that's it for the week 17 of NFL picks. So hope everybody enjoyed that. Sorry I was not able to do all the picks just because some of them I just was pretty busy with, but that's okay. But I did manage to do my best. So thanks everybody once again for watching this. And Adam's back now. So and again,
Alright.
it's
Sorry about that.
yeah, it's Colts and Titans. Did you give your score or
And
prediction?
my apologies, I had to take a call and my phone controls the internet on my phone.
That's fine.
And I'm gonna say the Colts got this one.
Okay. All right, now that everybody's got them in, now now we can pretty much say that's that'll do it. So that's a wrap. So once again, thank you everybody for watching, and I'd like to thank Jason, Adam, and Will all for joining this video.
No problem. Welcome.
All right, so that's gonna wrap it up once again. So enjoy the games, everybody, and thanks again for watching. If you do like this video, please hit the like button, comment if you have something to say on here, no negative stuff. Subscribe if you have not, and please do, because it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And you all take care. And thanks again for watching Week 17 NFL Picks.